Greetings, B-movie aficionados.
All right. Hello, welcome to A Couple of Flicks. I'm Tristan.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Zach.
And today we are going to talk about two David Lynch films on our show. A couple of Lynch films. A couple of Lynches.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah. I guess in memory of him since he's passed.
Yeah.
It's been a while now, though, hasn't it? I don't even
Yeah.
know
It was sometime earlier this year. Here,
yeah.
I probably should have looked that up before we. But that's
like
all right.
Longer ago.
Yeah, well, a lot's happened this year already. I mean, we don't have to get into it, but
It
yeah.
was in January.
January. Oh shit. Damn.
Okay, yeah. So January 16th. Dang. All right. Well, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about these two films, and I've seen pretty much all of his movies, and we can, I guess, get into whatever topic we need to as we get into this. But before we, but first of all, how are you both doing?
Good.
Yeah, good. Fine. Dandy.
Lovely. Have you guys watched anything recently that might be interesting to mention or talk about?
Saw the new Superman.
Oh shit. I heard it was good.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Like, actually
Nice.
feels like a comic book.
Oh, nice.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. It looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see it too. Actually, and I don't even like Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty burnt out on Superman, but this one I'll take a look at. My dad liked it, so.
Yeah, I wasn't very much a fan of any of the other on-screen Superman, but
Yeah.
this one's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like the second one when I was younger, but I don't know, these days it's kind of silly. I don't know. Some are better than others, but all in all, none of the Superman movies are all that good, or weren't all that good until now, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't mind Batman v Superman, I will say. I mean, I've come to appreciate certain aspects of it more. Although it altogether it still doesn't work for me, but I don't hate it.
It was silly.
Yeah, but that dream sequence was so dope. I mean,
I just laughed at the Martha.
yeah,
So silly. The Martha of it all.
it was pretty soap opera. I did enjoy watching Amy, what's her name?
Adams.
Amy Adams fall in puddles, and I also loved how she totally didn't even like acknowledge Wonder Woman at all, like even slightly. As soon, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
But it was good. I mean, well, no, it wasn't good. It was terrible, but it wasn't the worst thing. Like, I liked when it randomly became a Paul Verhoeven movie, and he just started killing everybody for no reason.
Yeah.
Recently on I saw Mickey 17.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Was it
I
good?
saw on the plane.
Oh,
They
that's
had the
so
plane
cool.
Selection, yeah. Yeah, I liked it.
Nice. Good. I'm
Not
glad.
I mean, it's no Parasite or anything, which is probably going to be hard to beat for him, but definitely one of my more of his favorite ones.
Yeah, it
I
looks
thought
good.
I thought it was going to get crazier. That's what I read on the internet, that it got crazy, but it wasn't all too wild. It's interesting, and And
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson does a cool acting performance. Two different dudes, basically.
Well, I did.
Spoiler, I guess it's kind of spoilery, but although it happens like half part only, a little way through, like second act maybe. But
Yeah.
there's technically 18 of them.
Well, yeah. Well, that's okay. I mean, but speaking of Robert Pattinson, one time I sat next to somebody who watched The Lighthouse on their laptop on a plane.
That's an interesting pick, yeah.
Yeah, I'd already seen it, so I wasn't like I didn't really care, but it was just funny because it's another Robert Pattinson movie.
Yeah. And the other movie on the plane I tried to watch was Love Hurts.
Oh, okay.
That one with how do you say his name?
Kirsten.
No, Hugh Kwan.
Oh, Kai Kwan.
Yeah. It's newer. It's
Okay.
like it came out this year,
yeah,
I guess. It's
I
like
saw that one.
action.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's like an action, but it also had a bunch of stupid love romance shit, which was kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
And but it was on the plane. It was another plane one, and this time I was falling asleep during most of it, but I'd wake up periodically. And I liked the action was good. The fight scenes were nicely done, pretty
Nice.
cool. But I didn't care for any of the plot. I didn't really even know what was going on most of the time, to be honest. Because
I think I felt the same way.
I fell asleep during like the plot points, and then woke up for like the fight scenes because they were loud, and I was like, oh shit, okay.
That's the only part you really need to watch.
Yeah, they were cool. They were cool fight scenes.
Nice.
Makes me wish he was in more stuff when he was younger. Maybe it could have been some Jackie Chan type movies.
Oh, definitely. That one was very Jackie Chan. He was using objects and stuff and goofing around.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. Wasn't he like a stunt coordinator for most of his
I think
career
so.
then too? Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. Pretty fun for the action scenes at least.
Nice. Well, I watched a movie I had not seen before that a friend of mine wanted to watch it with me because I guess his favorite podcaster had recommended it or something. But Falling Down, the Michael Douglas movie.
Oh, you never saw that?
I've never seen it, until yesterday, actually. So
I saw it a long time ago when I was a kid.
yeah. You saw that when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Yeah. I didn't really get it, but I was like, what's happening? This guy scares me.
Yeah. Just goes around killing people basically and shooting. Yeah. I thought it was interesting, actually. It was kind of like a kaleidoscope of different 90s issues, like social issues, but mostly, but it was a lot. I'm actually still not even I'm actually not even quite sure what it was trying to say, to be honest, because I'm still sort of processing the plot. It actually was surprisingly disturbing. But it was kind of weird though, because like there were parts of it that were where it was like these crazy set pieces, like that seem almost like something out of like a sketch comedy or something. And then suddenly there's other scenes where it's just like so like intensely realistic that like you can barely even watch it because it's uncomfortable, And then there's like this whole other story involving this police officer and who's played by Robert Duvall, and in some ways he actually has more reason to fly off the handle than Michael Douglas's character does. And so that kind of makes his character in certain ways more interesting. But then like the film takes a number of like really crazy twists at the end. And like, I kind of felt like some of the things that they revealed at the end should have maybe like kind of been parsed out a little bit throughout, perhaps, just because like I didn't really know how to feel about the Michael Douglas character for the most part, because like part of me was like, this guy's messed up because he's a psychopath. But then at the same time, he keeps encountering these people who you kind of end up sort of feeling more inclined to be like on the side of like Michael Douglas's character in a way in a lot of these situations, just because these people are being so rude and so like ridiculous over like the smallest thing. Like it does sort of play with your sense of morality a little bit, because there are moments where you almost sort of want to be on his side, you know? So it's a strange movie because like at certain moments it feels like a comic fantasy, and it almost like it almost seems like a joke, like almost like a commercial, like haha, like a dream sequence or something. Look at this guy walking around in a suit and tie and a buzz cut, randomly shooting people and killing gangsters and stuff. Like, it's like, what are you doing? The scene with the white supremacist is really disturbing. There's like, and then like the characters, like the wives and stuff, like, and I don't know. There's a lot going on. I'm not even really sure. I don't even know if I liked it. It was a good movie. It was just a lot to sort of take in, you know, for a mainstream movie and for a Joel Schumacher movie too. Because correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he the guy who did you know, the Batman and Robin movie?
Yep.
Like the one that everybody hates, although I secretly kind of enjoy it.
Yeah, he did those, or one or two,
Yeah. He directed this movie, which is interesting, you know, because it doesn't feel like the type of movie he would direct, you know. And I looked at his filmography, and most of his movies I would say are probably like, I'd say on the bad, or would be considered on the bad side, you know. Like Lost Boys is probably his most popular.
I love Lost Boys.
That's a good one. Actually, Time to Kill, I remember, I didn't see all of it, but I remember being that one. I remember that one being not bad. And then there was a time in my life where I was into Flatliners until I actually sat down and watched the whole movie and realized, wait a minute, there's barely anything happening in this movie. Anyway,
I saw that. I don't remember much from Falling Down except for, I think, just like a scene in like a McDonald's, maybe. I don't even. And
it is a fast food equivalent.
Yeah, he got pissed off that he was a few cents off, or was it?
It was
breakfast.
It wasn't. He wanted breakfast, and he was like 3 minutes late.
Yeah.
And he talked to the manager, and the manager's really smug and condescending about it, which, you know, like you could tell he's basically like a shithole who wants to take it out on Michael Douglas, but Michael Douglas is also being a shithole, so it's not helping the situation, obviously, and the short-temperedness goes out of control. And that's a good scene though. Michael Douglas after he pulls the gun and everybody freaks out, he's trying to get everybody to calm down and keep eating their meals and stuff.
I remember that. Yeah. But I also was a little confused because they did that in Big Daddy. So I was like, was it this?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. I'm trying to think. There was something else about Falling Down that I liked. I'm not remembering what it was. Maybe it'll come back to me. Anyway, good movie. I guess we should jump into David Lynch.
Yeah.
All right. So, not only is our first movie a Nicholas you see, I already screwed it up. Not only is our first movie a David Lynch movie, but it is also a returning actor on this show.
One of the best.
Yeah. A class act, that Nicolas Cage.
He caged it up in this one too.
He sure did. He sure did.
Probably one of my more favorite of his performances.
Yeah.
For
it's
his cagey factor, at least.
It's definitely probably one of his most popular ones, and he certainly Elvises it up pretty hardcore. Yeah. And in case folks haven't figured out what we're talking about yet, it's Wild at Heart from, wait, is it 1990 or 1989? I think it's 1990.
90, yeah.
Yeah, okay. 1990. Not Wild at Heart from 1990, starring Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern. There's some other people that are in it too, but we'll we can go into that as we go through this here. So, gentlemen, had either of you seen this movie before?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
First time for both these, really, but yeah.
Excellent.
The only Lynch movies I've actually seen before this was Dune and Eraserhead.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. Well, Dune is terrible, but I do kind of want to talk about that one day.
Yeah.
But Eraserhead on the other hand is actually my favorite Lynch film. So I still have my poster of it actually somewhere that I bought from when we went to Hanover. I forget where I bought a poster, but I still have that poster. Anyway, so
Yeah, I think I've seen, besides what we did, Mulholland Drive and Blue Velvet.
Oh, okay.
Right? Did we do that on this?
Well, we talked. I think you brought up the fact that you'd watched it or that you'd watched them. So, but we didn't
seen those, and then and Elephant Man.
Oh, okay. You've seen the Elephant Man as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Zach, so you haven't seen. So you've only seen Eraserhead and Dune, and then these two.
Yep.
Oh, excellent.
I could have sworn we did those other two for the show.
All right.
That's funny.
That's all right. Well, I'm a hardcore Lynch fan because I've seen all of his work. Well, all of his theatrical films, and I've watched all of the Twin Peaks stuff and all of the I was a Lynch fan like back in high school, like maybe even earlier than that. I mean, the first time I ever saw The Elephant Man was in the funniest, weirdest way. I watched it on like a tiny little like radio television thing that like the broadcast barely worked, and it was really hard to like make out what was happening, but it was still a good movie. Like I could tell it was a good movie. It was just hard to tell what was going on in it. So, and that was when I was like 8 or 9 or something. I forget how old I was when I saw that, but I was like really, really little. And like I said, I could barely make out what was happening, but and I've seen it. I've since seen it, and it's a good movie.
I love Blue Velvet. It's probably my favorite one I've seen of Lynch.
Yeah, Blue Velvet's a masterpiece. Probably his most controversial, I'd say. That's definitely like Hitchcock level terror at certain points. I mean, I love that movie. I mean, I think everybody remembers like everybody who's seen that movie remembers that. That's one of those movies that you just kind of never forget, really. So, and then you said you saw Mulholland Drive.
Mm-hmm.
That's a much more like obscure, dark, weird one. So
people like it more, I assume. I hear that most people say it's his best, but
it's in my it's in my top 5. That one you kind of have to sort of ease into a little bit. You have to sort of be a little more familiar with his work. I feel he is sort of one of those filmmakers who like once you get more familiar with his style, because if you watched like Mulholland Drive first, that'd be like jumping into the deep end of the ocean without knowing how to swim. That's like the equivalent of that. But I do like that movie a lot. I've grown to appreciate it a lot. I didn't get it the first time I watched it, so it is kind of a puzzle.
Yeah,
yeah.
A lot of his movies are just
yeah, and some of them don't. I don't know. Some of them are. The two we're talking about today are definitely two of his like most polarizing, and I'd say two that like a lot of people tend to hate on. Which I guess is kind of why I chose it for this podcast, because I didn't want to go with Dune yet. Because Dune is like the equivalent of 10 of these. So, but okay, yeah, Wild at Heart. I think I watched Wild at Heart shortly after I saw Blue Velvet for the first time. and I remember liking it when I first saw it. And so watching it now, after like all these years later, was kind of interesting. So, this won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival the year it came out, which I guess a lot of critics weren't super pleased about that, because a lot of critics didn't really like the movie that much. So, I don't know, what did you guys know about it? What were your thoughts on it overall, like, without getting too into spoilers yet?
For me, it was fine. I I know enough of David Lynch to like understand what I was getting into when watching it, so I wasn't really surprised necessarily by anything, because he makes, weird, more, I don't know, I guess artistic-y would not, I can't necessarily say if that's the right term, but like cerebral kind of. They don't necessarily have the thickest plot, but they have some
Yeah.
interesting elements and theming and stuff to look at, and like
So far, out of the three I've seen, this has the most plot.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I would agree.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
wacky characters and weird shit just happening.
Indeed.
You just have to kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
Like there's that one random dude in the bar, this one that just squeaked. Like a squeaky voice.
Yeah.
And you could tell it was like totally auto-tuned to squeak, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And it was
Yeah.
not addressed at all. You're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. That's definitely something that, like, that, I mean, there are a lot of odd little moments like in this film like that stand out to me, for sure. I'm still trying to unpack it, like, after having just rewatched it now, just because it actually, even for a David Lynch movie, it is a lot weirder than I remembered it being. I remembered this being one of his more conventional movies, actually, for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I didn't remember any of the Wizard of Oz. Well, I don't want to get into that quite yet, but let's just say I don't remember the stuff with the mother character being that wild. I mean, the movie is called Wild at Heart, but even so, it's a lot more wild than I recall it being, I guess. So, and I didn't even remember the opening scene, to be honest, which I guess is a good segue, because that was already like, oh my god, like, I didn't remember Nicolas Cage even, like, I remember him like shooting somebody or something. I didn't remember him like actually plastering the floor with a person's brains.
Yep. I was quite shocked by that too, yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Zach? What were your thoughts going into it, and what were your thoughts afterward?
So yeah, I thought it was going to be a little more straightforward.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, oh wait. But so it made me enjoy it a little more.
Nice.
I like the kind of surrealist, I guess maybe you'd call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that style. If it's not overdone.
Yeah. Well, some of his movies I would say are overdone, so I'd say tread carefully with his work.
Yeah. I was saying earlier, I watched Beau Was Afraid. That was a little more of that too.
Oh my god,
that one was a little much.
Yeah, oh my god, that movie. Oh, when it was over, I felt like I hadn't left it still. Ari Aster is really good at making those kind of movies where he puts you in his worlds, and then when they're over, you feel like you haven't escaped them yet. That's why I'm a little nervous to see his new movie, Eddington, because I'm still sort of traumatized by how crazy everybody acted during that whole experience. So I don't know if I'm ready to see a 2.5 hour movie of just that.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to watch Beau Was Afraid. I was
Yeah.
planning the editing this weekend, but
Yeah. Oh, let me know how it is. I'm nervous about it. I really am. Even for me, that might be too much. So, um. So yeah. Okay. Okay. Um. So yeah. What's this guy's name? Sailor, right?
Sailor, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's like walking down these steps with his girl, Laura Dern, and I get
Lula.
yeah, Lula. So Sailor and Lula, and out of nowhere, this person who's wearing like a suit, who he mentions the fact that like Lula's mom said that Sailor tried to hit on her in the bathroom, and then he basically like outright admits that she bribed him to kill him, which I don't really understand why he did that in the first place. Like, why would you say I'm going to kill you now because somebody paid me to do it? Like that, like already that I was confused by just that, and so of course, Nicolas Cage basically kills him. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't even say basically. He does kill him. Yeah,
But not murder, manslaughter.
yeah, full on manslaughter.
There's that little conversation with him and Laura Dern. He's like, "But I'm a robber and a murderer," and she's like, "Not murderer, manslaughter." Because it wasn't self-defense.
It was. It's just the bashing of the head on the marble probably was overkill, I'd say.
Yeah.
That felt like a scene out of like that movie Possessor that came out a couple of years ago, the Brandon Cronenberg movie, which has these like insanely overdone death scenes where like people are like not only getting stabbed and shot and getting like decapitated and getting like their eyes gouged out and crap. It's like, oh my god, it's like, what are you doing?
yeah.
So yeah, but so they're at a hotel. Well, I mean, he gets out of jail, of course, but and there's that whole moment where like he gets all excited because she's holding his snakeskin jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, my snakeskin jacket,
I wrote it
baby!
down. He said it. He's like, it's a symbol of my individuality and belief in personal freedom. Every time anyone mentions it,
Yeah,
which is a few times throughout the movie, he says that exact line.
yeah, that was great. Oh man, yeah, no, it was funny, and I like that they kind of. I like that the movie sort of. How do I put it? I kind of get irritated when it like cuts back and forth like that, like with movies where like it shows one thing happening and then another thing happening, and it's trying to sort of. I mean, I know that a lot of people do that to try and sort of show two things happening simultaneously, but a lot of times I tend to. What was that?
Like a very 90s thing to do too.
Yeah. Exactly. But I kind of feel like this movie does it in a really fun way, just because there was always something crazy going on in both situations. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah. So let's see. They go and they basically try to, because basically what ends up happening is Lula's mom is the one who is more or less trying to orchestrate Sailor for like to get like bumped off in the first place. Like she's the one who has all these problems with him.
Yep.
And so she's kind of the main sort of villain, I guess you could say. Although she's like a Palpatine kind of villain, basically. She's too lazy. Yeah, exactly. She's too lazy to do anything herself.
Yep.
So she hires a bunch of other people to try to do stuff. Sometimes she does it in such a way that in which the people that she hires end up actually getting in the way of each other. Like what happens tragically to the Harry Dean Stanton character.
That the PI guy?
Yeah, who
Was like
ba-
a husband, not husband, but seemed like boyfriend at least.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like that was kind of tragic,
Yeah, so she hires a hitman to try and kill Nicholas Cage or Sailor,
Mhm.
but the guy insists on killing the private eye, her boyfriend as well. But she's like,
Mhm.
"No, don't." But he's just like, "It's gonna happen. Fuck you, it's gonna happen."
Yeah,
I don't know why he was so dead set on killing him too, really, but
yeah,
he just had to do it. Had to do it both or not neither.
basically, and um, she the okay. So there was also the people that ended up killing Harry Dean Stanton. That one lady. Was she the sister? Well, okay, maybe I think I'm getting too ahead of the plot because there's a bunch of different characters in this movie. Um, okay,
I
hold
do
on.
think there were
I got to slow down.
sisters. Yeah,
Yeah, they were sisters. The Perdita character, right?
I didn't know I didn't remember their names, but they
Oh,
look
okay.
pretty similar. And I think
Oh,
there was a picture of them.
oh, okay. Well, I think I only know because they're so it's based. This is based on a novel, right? And the characters in the novel, there's a book that I guess is about that character too, or whatever. But there's actually a movie that's also sort of based on that character too, called Perdita Durango, that came out in the '90s, in like the mid '90s, that had Rosie Perez in it.
Oh.
So in a weird way, this movie's actually kind of related to that movie. But when it came out in America, it was called Dance with the Devil.
Hmm.
So
Which one was she? Was she the?
she was the one played by Rossellini, Isabella Rossellini, the other, the sister of the when they show up and she's like at the door
Okay.
and she's
She's the one that he asks if there's a hit out on him.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So because they're all well connected and stuff. So like it is kind of cool that this movie does have its own sort of little world going on.
There's a backstory
So
that we don't know much about. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And Lulu has her own backstory too with her mom and just her psychotic relationships and stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean lots of crazy stuff going on. The thing that throws me off about the whole thing is the Wizard of Oz stuff.
Yeah.
I just
It's a whole through line throughout the entire. It was like straight up them talking about it and then just visual references and stuff. Is that
yeah.
in the book? Have you read the books at all?
No, I haven't read the books. I don't really know anything about them. I've only seen the movies, but all the Wizard of Oz stuff, to me, I didn't get it.
I didn't either because it didn't really pay off at all. It was just like references, I feel.
Yeah.
There was like no actual like.
Yeah, I mean, the only time it paid off, it happened kind of at the end, and even that was sort of just kind of too on the nose. I felt.
Yeah. Very.
Which yeah, and of course we can build to that, but I'd say that's sort of. I guess I would say my biggest problems with this movie have a lot to do with the fact that just it does kind of feel like David Lynch is sort of giving into his worst urges a lot of the time and just trying wacky, eccentric stuff to see if it works at times. And sometimes sometimes it connects with me, and a lot of times it just doesn't. Like I like a lot of the like Americana and the iconic, like all that stuff going on, and the fire imagery. I love all the fire imagery.
The
Yeah.
lighting, the
Yeah.
cigarettes or the match lighting, and then I mean,
Yeah.
smoking is cool, of course.
Well, I mean,
If there's anything
has
these movies, both these movies have taught us is smoking is cool.
yeah. Well, smoking is something that a lot of characters in his movies tend to do. So,
Yeah, he was a big time smoker.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, Jim Jarmusch, he likes to have characters smoking cigarettes in his movies a lot too. He even has a movie called Coffee and Cigarettes. So, which is just about people drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes. It's like I don't know what sounds worse,
Is that with Bill Murray?
or well, Bill Murray's in it, but I don't
want to
know.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Around to it.
it's charming. I didn't mind it, but I don't know which concept sounds less appealing. The idea of people smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee and talking about drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes for 90 minutes, or watching a movie about a bunch of long-haired, greasy people getting drunk in a parking lot for a Judas Priest concert. Like, I don't know which concept for a movie sounds less appealing.
Well, if you've ever smoking and coffee do go well together.
That's true. They do. No, you're right. Anyway, so yeah, but there is a point where they do escape the hotel, right?
Which hotel? They're at New Orleans at first, then they just leave.
Yeah, because that's right after they're trying to escape, which of course that kind of leads to that one scene that's kind of like this one moment that sort of doesn't almost feel like it fits into the movie, just because it feels almost like too real when you like look at it next to all like the crazy, colorful, bizarre looking violence going on. Is like the car accident thing going on.
Like, real, does it?
Yeah, they're like driving down the highway. They're not lost, but they're driving down a highway. And I think sometime after they get off one of the back roads, they come across, it looked like a two-car collision of some sort. It's kind of what I
just flipped, because I remember in the beginning there was just like a very short flash of a car flipping over for no reason. I was like,
yeah,
okay, Lynch, and then I think they just drive up to that crash.
Yeah,
just like a little.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's like there's like some lady running around trying to find her stuff, and she's completely just delusional and just miles away, psychologically miles away, and she eventually collapses and expires, and it's like, and Lula takes it as like a bad omen. Of course, that's what she says. I'm like, bad omen? Like, are you that like that's like not that doesn't even begin to describe.
Yeah. I mean,
like the most understated way to put it. I mean, she does react to it viscerally initially when it happens, of course, but still, I was like, what in the world?
They're already in shit because he's skipping parole apparently too to do this. Like,
so. Yeah, that's true. Okay, trying to remember what happened. Do either you want to take over from here,
or? I remember. So they're driving around.
I know there was like a crystal ball that the mom has. Yeah.
I don't know what that was for. I think it was just another like Wizard of Oz reference.
Yeah.
But one
probably
scene I remember was like that dude. Fuck, what was his name? I don't know, one of the main bad like henchmen guy. He was taking a shit.
Oh yeah,
that was taking a shit with a topless lady dancing in front of him.
Yeah, that was funny.
He was the guy that was like not issuing, but like okaying the hits.
Yeah, I remember that. That was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, another line I think that came shortly after.
Fix my shelf.
Fucking Nick Cage said, "I had a boner with a capital O." Forget what he was talking about. That was like, what does that mean?
It's hilarious. Yeah. There was
talking about some other lady he's been with.
Yeah, with he was talking, yeah, with Laura Dern about some other lady he's been with. Like, oh yeah, I was walking up behind her and I just grabbed right up and underneath her.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. I mean, they have lots of sex in this movie. So
Oh yeah, there's a shit ton of sex.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, like one of the first shots of Laura Dern is her topless, like
Yeah,
just going like, "Oh
I
yes, sailor."
was
She's like
surprised.
slowly putting on her top. It's like, oh my gosh.
David
Yeah.
Lynch gets famous ladies to go topless.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. She's no, she's worked with Lynch lots of movies. She was in Inland Empire, which that's want to talk about diving into the deep end with David Lynch. That's probably the last one you should watch. But she's the main character in that, and she gives a super intense performance. And actually, he campaigned for her to get. He gave an Oscar campaign for her on Hollywood Boulevard, from what I understand, with a goat, like, and like some sort of like stand, campaigning for her to get an Oscar nomination for Inland Empire. Like,
Nice.
if you want to see a great actress performance, see Laura Dern in Inland Empire, or whatever he said. I don't even remember. But, but anyway, yeah, trying to remember. Yeah, no, lots of nudity in this movie, which again somehow I forgot about, and I don't even know why, because I saw this movie when I was a teenager. Like, how did I forget like half of these boobs? Like,
There's so many.
yeah. But let's see. But yeah, you see a lot of the mom's life, and it's pretty clear why Lula probably would want to like not be involved in any of that. So, because she ends up having a breakdown over how guilty she feels about like what ends up happening with Harry Dean Stanton's character. So,
Yeah, she freaked out too, even before when she was going to New Orleans. She
yeah.
just painted her face in lipstick.
Oh yeah.
Even before he died or anything, she was like, "I fucked up, but I can't tell you on the phone."
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
freaking out, fully
Yeah.
painted, red faced in lipstick.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
And then she got up and then realized she stepped on her slipper, and the front of it was all curled like a witch,
Yeah.
like a witch shoe.
Yeah, there was that witch,
Yeah.
little curled
Yeah.
witch thing.
Yeah. So she's supposed to be like the Wicked Witch of the West with the colored skin and the curly shoe, and
Hmm.
it's
I didn't get it. There's so much Wizard of Oz shit.
there is
Like
wicked
direct
amount.
references to them just talking about the Wizard of Oz, that they're on the little golden road.
Yeah.
Because the whole point is they're going to California, and that's like what fucking yellow brick road.
Yeah, that's the yellow brick road is California. We're gonna get on that yellow brick road, or whatever he says. Like, and I know that like at some point in the movie, there's that whole thing that happens with the deal, but I think wasn't there something about her talking about? I think it was Crispin Glover or somebody like that in some kind of flashback, like her brother
Is that him?
or somebody like that put a
Jingle
cock.
Bell?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was Crispin Glover. I saw his name in the credits. I remember that. I thought this was the weirdest thing. It was
Yeah.
her uncle,
Oh, her uncle. That's
who
it.
was who was mentally ill, obviously, because he was just obsessed with Christmas.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. She would just tell random things like he was communicating with aliens that had black gloves on all the time, and
Yeah.
one time he was making a bunch of sandwiches, which when they panned to him, it was just like they were all diced up and like chopped up, and he was like, his mom came and said, "I'm making lunch," and it was the middle of the night. Then
Yeah.
the mom found his underwear full of cockroaches, and apparently he
Yeah.
put a cockroach on his anus. And you just see him, and when she was talking about, it, you just see him kind of like squirming on the sidewalk.
Yo, that was Crispin Glover.
Yeah, and that was really out of nowhere and had nothing to do with the rest of the fucking movie.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is though, like even that whole world that like felt oddly built, like built in, you know. So it is kind of interesting how like he clearly knows how to like really put together like a really strong visual story, but then he just like throws in a bunch of all this other weird shit, and it kind of like obscures some of like the some of the kind of elaborate like elements, you know. It's almost like you have to sort of like look past the spider webs or something. I don't know. It's hard to really know exactly like how to make heads or tails of this movie, you know.
Yeah.
Because like you could tell that she's a really troubled person, you know, because she's not exactly the most forthright person, but you also kind of understand why, you know. But it also kind of makes her sort of a really weak character too, you know, which is a bit frustrating, you know, because then it does eventually start to affect the plot in the second half.
Yeah, well,
You
one
know?
of the major plot points too is that her dad died.
Yeah,
And we slowly learn throughout the movie how it happened. At first, she just said
yeah,
he lit himself on fire, but eventually we learn what happened.
yeah. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of history, like as far as like the mom and the kind of crazy shit that she's like been doing. So, but like, wasn't there also like it was like Santos and the what's her name? I'm not remembering, but basically like it like that's also what ends up being like, kind of what gets Sailor in trouble with them as well. So
For what?
like because of like once he finds out, or am I? Wait a minute, I think I'm lost. I'm trying to remember. All right, where are we? So there's like the whole Omen thing that happens. She gets all spooked by the car accident.
And then we
There's the
get
whole
to the big tuna town, whatever the fuck it was called, something fish, tuna, something.
yeah, and they basically don't have any money by that point. So
Yep.
if
We're
I
at
yeah
Big Tuna.
yeah so
I think that was the name of the town. I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, I remember now. And then this is when he gets in contact with the sister, who more or less confirms everything, you know, and then after that, that's around the time that he basically he gets involved. He kind of ends up getting sort of sidetracked, to say the least, by the whole Bobby Peru situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when he decides to get involved, like with what he's doing after he meets him at the bar later, you know. But of course, Bobby Peru, and this is after Sailor has already sort of left. He shows up at the hotel and basically assaults her, or threatens to, at the very least. So,
Yep. He's filling her up, and then
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like Willem Dafoe.
yep, Willem Dafoe. That was a strange character for him.
Yeah,
I've seen the gif of him so many times in this movie.
oh, the one of him like with the stalking.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Nice.
only saw where that's from.
Yeah.
And we're introduced, so they were all sitting around drinking, and then there were like three large ladies naked dancing in the background.
Yeah.
And I guess he's some type of porn producer as well.
Yeah.
It's a similar theme in both of these movies.
Oh yeah, porn. Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. So there's a correlation right there. There was the whole thing with with Lula talking about being pregnant.
Yeah, yeah. She
Yeah,
threw up in the room, and then
that's it.
they keep mentioning how it
Right.
smells like puke, like every other
Yeah,
time they walk into the room.
yeah, yeah. Um. So somehow Bobby knows that she's pregnant. I'm not
He
sure,
just
but
said, "Look, I don't know." He's mentioned, yeah, like, well, he smelt the puke, and then I think she wasn't feeling well, and
oh yeah,
I
that
think he
makes
just
sense.
kind of guessed. I don't know.
Okay,
It's my understanding.
that makes sense. Yeah, and that's when he kind of gets pulled into this robbery job. You know, which goes pretty poorly, I'd say. And it also like kind of also sort of more or less sets off the rest of what ends up happening in the film too. So
Yeah, that is mostly near the end too.
yeah,
Really. Let me see
so
how it goes. Oh, I wrote. Oh, well, before we even, I'll just throw down a few little tidbits. This is that radio scene where Laura Dern was driving, and it was just all news,
oh yeah,
murder and suicide and stuff, and
yeah, yeah,
murder and all this bad shit. And then they put
yeah.
on, Cage finds some hardcore metal rock, and they just dance at the side of the road, and Cage was just flipping and kicking around and shit. Um,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, after the car wreck is when Johnny gets kidnapped and killed.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
that's yeah.
For some reason, I thought that happened before. That makes sense that it would happen after, though.
Yeah.
So,
And it was weird because like the other lady was like making out with the dude and while he was getting murdered.
oh yeah, yeah. There was. It ended up sort of basically being kind of a background thing that didn't actually end up affecting their lives too much ultimately. So
Yeah. But then yeah, they spend all this time in Big Tuna to fix up their
yeah,
car and shit with weird people around.
yeah,
Uh
yeah. There's that one lady with the fingers or whatever.
oh, that one scene was just yeah, that one
Uh,
little fucking weird. I was like, oh, that's very Lynch.
yeah, yeah. I remember that image, and I knew that it happened in one of his movies, but I couldn't remember which one. But
Yeah, I was like, oh, that
I
is
know.
so Lynch.
Oh yeah, definitely. Uh, so let's see. They show up. Of course, like Bobby starts basically blasting everybody in sight at the robbery. You know, once they try to actually rob the place.
Yeah, so they want
And
to rob a feed store like the
yeah,
next town over,
right.
but it's I think it's implied that because he is working with that other girl that
Yeah,
and she lied to him that said there wasn't a hit out. Uh,
right.
so I think and he had the nickel, that silver dollar too.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So I think he was actually was supposed to kill Cage.
Yeah.
I knew all
Okay.
about it, and that was because he was like, "Oh, if something goes wrong before, during, or after, you know."
Mm,
So yeah, they go to
yeah.
rob the feed store, and Cage is like, "No one gets hurt, no one gets hurt." But then he just Cage or Defoe just starts blasting everyone.
Yeah. 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 And then he turns the gun on Cade on Sailor.
Yep. And Sailor, and he gave Sailor a dud gun
Yeah.
without any
Those are dummies, dummy.
dummy. Yeah.
Oh. And then the cops show up, and there's a shootout, and Bobby Peru basically just straight up kills himself. You know,
Yeah.
just takes his own life. But
It was he gets shot a bunch by the cop, and then he just kind of
yeah.
kneels down and shoots his head off with a shotgun, and his head just like literally just decapitates himself with a shotgun and goes flying in the air.
Yeah, yeah. Little pile of brains splatters on the sidewalk. That's the second time you see brains on the floor in this movie, or on the
Yeah.
ground.
And one of the store owners like lost his hand in the shootout, and they were still alive somehow,
Hmm.
and they were both saying, "Oh, where's your hand? Go find it. They can reattach him these days. Good as new." And you just see a dog with a hand walking out the door.
Yeah. Now, in the one that you guys watched, was it like really smoky, or could you tell like have you guys watched like the differences between that scene like in like the European version and the American version? So. Oh, okay.
Mine was all smoky.
It's
Smoky?
like barely even a difference. Yeah, you see, I have a European. I checked it out of the library, and it's like a European Blu-ray, but mine was smoky too. So if it's smoky, that means it's censored. But like honestly, like it looks gnarly either way. So and the uncensored version, it's just the same thing but without the smoke.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Yeah, I watched
Yeah.
whatever one Zach you put up. I
Okay.
Yeah.
watched that one. I didn't notice any smokiness. I don't know.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. It's like not really enough to even make it. You can tell what's happening pretty
Yeah.
obviously. So,
Still
but that's
pretty violent and bloody and shit. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the reason the movie got an X rating. Was for that one moment, you know.
Yeah.
So they just needed to have a little more smoke come out of Willem Dafoe's head for whatever reason. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So earlier in the movie, there he said there was like that song that sings to his one true love, or that he would only sing to his one true love.
The one
Yeah.
would marry, like the Elvis one, "Love You Something Tender."
Love you tender, love me tender. Yeah.
And he was totally like an Elvis caricature. He had the affects and looked like him and all that stuff.
Yeah. The Elvis stuff I didn't mind, only because like
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of movies like this that do that kind of thing. So
He did it so goofily that I just thought of Johnny Bravo instead.
yeah. Yeah, the Nicolas Cage version of Elvis is kind of like Johnny Bravo.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. That's funny.
I liked the Jack White Elvis in Walk Hard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Doc Hard, the Dewey Cox.
Yeah.
That was great.
He was hilarious.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
There's that like funny line about fucking karate and shit.
Yeah. Karate or whatever.
Yeah.
Ugh, I got to see that movie again one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Been forever. Oh my god. So let's see. So yeah, he's basically busted after that. And and that's pretty much like, you know, then that's when we get to the final sort of part of the movie where, to me, it kind of goes in a much more sort of fantastical direction. It jumps ahead quite a bit. So
Yeah, like 6 years.
mm-hmm. And he encounters her, I guess, by chance.
I think they're keeping in contact, it seemed, because he had a letter from
Oh,
when
okay.
he first got in.
Oh, yeah,
letter.
I forgot. Yeah, you're right.
And then he mentioned like, "Oh, I've read a lot about you and stuff."
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
assume they kept in contact.
All right. Yeah. That makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, it's clear that it's not like she's ever been able to get over him, you know, and even if she could, by this point, she's actually had her baby. So,
yeah.
So there's not much he can do there. But, and, you know, there's like, there's this whole thing that happens where like he kind of, I'm trying to remember, he gets into sort of this crazy encounter.
Oh, but even before that is the Wicked Witch thing too. We see because he's getting out, and Laura Dern or Lulu is on the phone with her mom, and the mom's totally lost by this point. She's like like hunched over, drinking a martini, completely hammered and fucked up. Like,
Yeah.
What if I ask you to not
to
go
break up with him?
And she said, that's not gonna happen. And then she's like, scream, "What if I fucking tell you not to?" And then she says, "Screw you." Hangs up the phone and splashes water on the picture of her mom.
Yeah.
Which then at the end of the movie, which was one of the more on the nose bits, is like the picture of her mom that's covered in like water now
Oh
just
yeah.
evaporates and disappears.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. That was so silly. Yeah, like by this point they don't even make it subtle anymore.
No.
They're just literally just throwing in Wizard of Oz stuff.
Yeah.
You know, just like slapdash whenever they feel like it. You know.
Yeah. And so like
So
yeah,
so and it's kind of awkward. Like after like he meets up with her, and so it's like
yeah, it's a lot for her to
yeah.
handle, so he realizes that and starts walking
I'm
off.
just not ready. Yeah.
But then I don't know who this gang of people is that jump him either.
Yeah, what was that all about?
I don't know. I thought it was like another hit crew coming after him or something.
That's what I thought too.
But then they just kind of leave him alone after they beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, they kind of just stand there staring at him.
And there's a lot of them too. You see like a big wide shot of him walking down the road, and then slowly people just come out of like alleyways and
Yeah.
behind trees and bushes and shit.
Yeah, it's a whole army.
And he
Yeah.
just and he like lights a cigarette and says, "Well, what do you F slurs want?"
Yeah.
And then he just gets the shit beaten out of him. And then he sees the like
the Glenda the Good Witch.
yeah, the
I guess.
good witch,
Yeah.
the great good witch or whatever. And
Yeah.
he gets up and says, "I'm sorry I called you people homosexuals."
Yeah.
And then they're like, "No problem, man," and let him walk away.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. And then he runs after Lulu,
Yep.
jumps on her car.
Yeah, he's jumping all over cars and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Then he serenades her.
Sings,
with the Love Me Tender.
over
Yeah.
credits. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really beautiful. Nicolas Cage is singing. You know. The kid is just kind of sitting there like, all right, you know.
That's
And,
my daddy.
Yeah. And that's it. That's the movie. Pretty silly. Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah, definitely wild. Um, yeah, that's about it. I guess. I mean, and I still like it. I still think it's fun. It's kind of still charming in that crazy, violent road movie type of way. You know, where you have all the wild sort of characters and crazy death scenes and stuff. This is like an early precursor to all of those, and I kind of still feel like it's one of the more distinct, actually. So, like, I remember more from this movie than I do from what was that movie about Brad Pitt where he plays the serial killer? I always forget the name of it. Oh, California with a K.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I remember that being good, but I don't remember anything really about it other than Brad Pitt played a serial killer, you know, whereas this, I remember the characters, I remember a lot of the scenes. It doesn't really add up to a whole lot, but it's a charming love story, and I like the visuals and stuff, you know. It's a good date movie.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, if a guy showed me this movie on a first date, I would be like, "Oh my god, you love David Lynch?"
Well, yeah, I don't know if I could sell this for a first date with a girl.
Yeah.
Unless she said she loved Lynch and shit, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, if she loved Lynch but said she hadn't seen this one.
Yeah.
Unless the only one she'd seen was The Straight Story. Because that's like the most wholesome movie ever made.
Oh, really?
Or, well,
Like Disney movie or something.
it's a Disney. David Lynch made a Disney movie, The Straight Story.
Oh.
Yeah. That's it. That's absolutely it. That's why I love it. Well, that's not why I love it. I actually love it because it's a good movie, but it's a super wholesome, good time type of movie about like an old guy driving a tractor. Like, there is obviously more to it. There's more to it. It actually does have a plot, and it's actually a very beautiful story. But it is a Disney David Lynch movie.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know he did that. That's fun.
Yeah. So yeah, if that's the only one she's seen, then maybe be like, you want to try the Elephant Man, maybe?
It's pretty tame-ish. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, Elephant Man, I think most people could handle. It's really just the emotions that are hard about it. You know, the makeup is a little intense at first, but John Hurt does such a good job that really you barely it doesn't bother you after the first 5 minutes. You know, that's it takes a good actor to be able to do that, to like really humanize a character. So, and that's really actually what impresses me more about the Man more. I'd say is the lead performance. You know, like that's not a very typical David Lynch movie. You know,
yeah.
so. But yeah, this I'd say has a lot more of his trademarks for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The wacky
Anyway,
characters, the
yeah,
confusing little bits, dreamy like qualities.
yeah. It is a little confusing, but it's not too confusing as long as you're paying attention. You know,
Yeah.
so it's not the type of movie where yeah, it just throws you into nowhere land. You know, so. But anyway,
Yeah,
but
what's his thing with the red drapes too?
oh, with red what?
Red drapes.
Oh, red drapes. Oh yeah, that is something I've noticed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
go through
did
like
notice that. I was wondering because it's in both these movies, right? That we did today.
Yep, it's a thing in Twin Peaks as well. Like
Yeah.
there's even a
Yeah.
character called the Drape Lady that goes ballistic over the drapes. Like
I wonder what it means.
the drapes. Yeah, who knows? Ugh. Yeah, I'd say a lot of his more interesting work was with or some of his more interesting work was with Colin McLaughlin, but overall, yeah, I'd say Nicolas Cage felt pretty at home with David Lynch overall,
Oh
and
yeah.
and since this was one of Nicolas Cage's earlier movies too, like it kind of gave him a chance to be a little bit more fearless. So
Yeah, I think from what I understand, Lynch lets the actors kind of interpret their character fairly freely.
mm,
Like for the next movie, apparently I read about it, but there's one character that they just let him just do what he wanted, or at least
mm,
come in how he looked. But
nice.
I'll tell you when we get to it. But yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
and I don't like I couldn't see anyone else but Cage playing that character.
Mm,
So
No, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I would have to agree. All right. What about you guys? What are your overall final thoughts on it? I guess.
I enjoyed it. I like these, like I said, I like these surrealist kind of movies,
Yeah. Me too.
especially from this time period in the '90s.
mhm.
There's some
Yeah,
good ones. There's some really good ones.
yeah, I thought it was fun. Like there was definitely weird stuff, but it was engaging the entire time, I thought. Like it may have been confusing, but still, at least the main plot was pretty straightforward. But just random shit thrown in there as Lynch does, and
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was fun.
Yeah. I usually don't mind if a movie's confusing as long as it's interesting. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I thought this was pretty enjoyable. I'd probably give it like maybe like a 3 or a 3.5.
Yeah, I gave it 3.5.
Nice.
Yeah, I'd give it a 3.5 as well.
Cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm glad we rewatched I'm glad that we watched it. So
Yeah, it was a fun one.
Yeah.
all right. Now this one I have kind of a funny story about before we get too deep into it. So this next one is the movie Lost Highway, which is a movie that I occasionally see on lists of the scariest movies of all time. I What was that?
The scariest, you said?
Yeah, the scariest. Yeah, sometimes I see this on lists, on like those lists, the Lost Highway. Like I remember watching like a TV show. It was like the 10 scariest movies, and Lost Highway was like number like 6 or something. I was like, what in the world? So, but the first
Honestly,
time
I could see that. I was more surprised at how kind of creepy it was.
yeah, I was too, actually. But the first time I watched this movie, though, guys, oh my god, oh. So it was like on this DVD that, to date, I don't think I've seen like a worse, uglier looking like picture quality on a DVD in my life. It was so unbelievably bad that like I actually had to, and this was like back when I was like crazy obsessed with Lynch. This was back in high school, and I was like looking through his movies and looking at like all of them and just being like, what does this mean? What, oh my gosh. And with this one, I couldn't make out the picture quality on my standard television. I actually had to get one of my smaller box televisions and plug the DVD player that I had at the time into it, just to actually like, because it was like double sided, like double. It was like I don't know. It was like double image almost. It was hard to describe, and it sounded like shit too. It sounded like the audio was like recorded in a well. So when I watched this movie for the first time, it was not an ideal experience, like at all. And I look it up, and that was a legitimate DVD. So that was not a bootleg. I don't get it. It's like at that point you may as well just get it on VHS.
I heard he wanted to make this one in black and white.
That's interesting. Interesting. I didn't realize that.
This is on one of the Wikipedia facts. He wanted to do it in black and white.
Okay. Well, okay, Lost Highway. So I'm not exactly sure quite how to go about this one, because I certainly didn't understand it when I could barely even make out the image quality. Watching it now, I don't know, like it's kind of frustrating where you ever get that like, experience when you watch a movie and you're really invested in what's going on, but at the same time you constantly are feeling like the characters know a lot more than you do?
Yeah.
This movie kind of felt like that hardcore for like after the first 45 minutes. Not so much in the first 45 minutes, but after the first 45 minutes. That's when like the rest of the movie started really feeling that way, where I had to kind of draw a lot of my own conclusions about things. And this film, like I really actually did kind of have to work a little hard at kind of following it a bit,
Absolutely, yeah. It definitely was like the first chunk, first act or whatever, I guess, was pretty straightforward, I would say.
Yeah.
And then it just got Lynch put a twist in it, and it's like, what the fuck is happening now? And then that was like the entire time for the rest of the movie. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Yeah. It's the type of movie that is like pretty easy to follow, like for at first, and then until it suddenly isn't. And the way it happens is almost like it's almost like you don't really notice it in a weird way. I mean, you do, but you are thinking that there's like something that's like gonna happen
that'll tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
And it never happens.
And then the moment never comes. Yeah. What about you, Zach? What are your feelings about this movie right now?
Yeah, I was kind of enjoying it up until that point, and then just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like I was trying to follow along, but also kind of lost interest because I like Bill Pullman a little better than the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because like the first 45 minutes of this film are rather they're kind of scant. It's almost like I mean, even by the end of the movie, I still really kind of don't know anything about Bill Pullman's character. Really, I know he does jazz. You know,
Yeah.
it's like really intense jazz.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I couldn't even. I like jazz, but the shit he was playing was like hard. I don't know. That was too hardcore jazz.
Yeah, it was really intense jazz music. And you have the Patricia Arquette character.
Miss Cobell.
Yes. And she's kind of tragic because she basically spends the whole first half of the movie not knowing what the hell is going on. She knows even less than we do, I'd say.
I think she knows more by the
Oh,
like
well,
it's hard to really tell because
actually, you have a good point. Actually, yeah.
with in the beginning with Bill Pullman and her, like I could sense the tension. Like you could tell I don't know. It just felt like they were not on the same page. They were on the rocks or something.
Okay.
So, like yeah, they're married. You could tell that she might be a little flirty with this other dude. I don't know, some skis ball.
Yeah.
I think it seemed like he kind of was jealous of her for that. And then,
Yeah. Yeah. Which I think, but it didn't seem like he was. I mean, yeah, no, I did get this. You are right. I did get the sense that he was jealous. I did have to sort of conclude that eventually, but
yeah, there was no like hard evidence.
Yeah.
He didn't call it out, but like,
yeah,
it was like one of I think the best parts of that little chunk was their performance of having just a tension-filled relationship that they never said, but like you could tell that like they didn't kind of like each other anymore or something. Like it was
exactly. Yeah, and it gets really creepy because like even though there's not a whole lot happening, there's things that are suggested that are unnerving, and a lot of the first half of the movie is framed in like these close-up shots, so you already kind of feel disoriented to begin with. It almost feels like a chamber piece with people like on a stage, but they start getting these videotapes, which I guess kind of reminds me of that movie Cachet a little bit, the Michael Haneke movie, which is a very, very scary movie, but not in like an obvious way. It's a very quiet, like strange type of film where like where very little is happening, but this is very different from that because the videos are more active. The first one is just basically of their house, more or less, right?
Yep. And
so
like, the wife Renee, I think her name was like, oh, maybe it's just a real estate agent. And then no, it wasn't, because the second one was a video of like they actually go inside and videotape them sleeping.
Yeah, they actually enter inside, which is like, whoa, uh-oh. They call the police. Police are useless as fuck.
Of course.
The movie doesn't even like pretend that they aren't.
Yep.
And I don't know if he's trying to comment on like Los Angeles or something. But he kept on drawing attention to like like these different like these very specific locations and stuff. Although to be honest, it was probably really more because he was living there at the time and
this one
was
did remind
interested
me
in showing. Yeah.
This one did just in general remind me a lot of Mulholland Drive. It felt very LA, which Mulholland Drive did as well. Because they kept using just specific. Also, he used specific street numbers and or like addresses, and this just felt very LA. Which I guess, like I read that it's like this one Mulholland Drive and that Inland Empire are like not necessarily a trilogy, but like an LA themed trilogy kind of thing.
Yeah. His 3 LA movies.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, no, that makes sense. All 3 of those are very very LA oriented, and they get progressively more and more and more about the warped darkness of Hollywood, let's see. Yeah, so the LA setting was interesting. And I think also, because they feel so threatened by the videotapes and stuff like that, and they call the cops and stuff, and the cops don't do anything at that point. That already sort of sets everything in an uneasy sort of motion from that point on, even before he goes to the party. And by the way, before we get too into the party scene, the music, man, the soundtrack to this movie is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
It was pretty good.
It's so moody. There's so much weird jazz and stuff. Like, I was putting it on at work today while I was washing dishes.
A lot of Rammstein.
There was some Rammstein. Yeah. It was some Rammstein. There was some Pumpkins. Definitely some Manson.
Pumpkins, yeah.
Yep, 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
This was, and David Bowie, of course. Like, this had like a pretty rockin'.
I don't usually notice the
soundtrack.
soundtracks for movies, to be honest, but this one stuck out to me.
Yeah. This was a good one. But I would agree with you, Nick, that this is closer to Mulholland Drive. That Wild at Heart is closer to Blue Velvet, and this is closer to the Mulholland Drive. So that's cool. Anyway, so he goes to the party. He encounters Robert Blake, which already Robert Blake, I mean, when he was alive anyway, probably not the type of person I would feel super comfortable about encountering at a party, just because.
Oh, well, we first have to mention too, I think it's probably one of the biggest wraparound bits of the whole entire movie. Like, the first thing is
the phone call, right?
The buzzing. He gets a buzzing from his apartment that says whatever his name is.
Kaiser Soze. No. Dick Laurent.
Dick Laurent is dead.
Dick Laurent.
Yeah, Dick Laurent is dead. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You see, that's one of those things that happens, and then you kind of forget about it until the end of the movie, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute, no,
this is fucking trippy.
Yeah. But yeah, so that happens. But yeah, he encounters Robert Blake, who it's an interesting casting choice, because I think by this point that actor was blacklisted because he was accused of murdering his wife, in real life, which I don't know anything about that story. I didn't do any research. I have zero clue. Like, I'm not really interested in scandals and stuff. That's just not my thing, But it's interesting casting choice that he would like go with somebody who's blacklisted, and actually that is sort of one thing that might annoy a lot of people about this movie, is there is a lot of stunt casting. I didn't mind it, but there's a lot of stunt casting. So yeah, he talks to him, and he's like I don't even know if he has a name. He's like a Spectre looking guy.
Okay, so this is the bit that I was talking about earlier. So in the credits, he's just called Mystery Man, at least.
Okay.
So he doesn't really have a name.
Okay.
But this is the bit where, like, David Lynch said, just do whatever you want, and then he apparently did the whole and what's his name, the actor?
Robert Blake.
Robert Blake had no idea by reading the credit or the script by what the hell was going on. None of the actors really did at all.
Nice.
Apparently.
Excellent.
So Robert Blake just came in with that look, like a buzzed head with, like, white face paint, his eyes. And
wow.
And Lynch was just like, yes. So
excellent.
That's exactly.
Oh wow.
So, like, Robert Blake had the entire look. It was his choice, not.
Wow. Well, it's a very, very piercing, weird look. And
what I wrote down too is because I was like, this is a vampire looking dude. It looked like the Bela Lugosi's Dracula. Like,
Yeah.
almost. Like, I was like, wait, is this a vampire movie?
Mm.
It's not, but like,
No, but it feels like it could turn into one.
yeah, almost like
Yeah.
every few scenes, it's like, wait, is this a vampire movie?
Yeah. Actually, now that I'm thinking about the ending, though, you could almost say it's a metaphorical vampire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we don't have to get into that quite yet. But go on. Sorry.
And then like, yeah, so they're at that party with, I don't know, some girl or no, some guy his wife knew from a while ago, Andy.
Yeah, that's right.
Who she doesn't really she like later on he asks, how do you know that asshole? And he's like, oh, he gave me a job, he's not that bad.
Yeah.
Uh but this David Blake, the mystery man,
Michael. Yeah.
he comes up to what was Fred?
Oh,
Fred
yeah.
is his name?
I think so. Yeah.
And it's just very like I don't know, sci-fi surreal. It's just
It's a
Lynchy.
yeah. It's
was
a
like,
very intense moment.
so,
Yeah.
and this was also why I thought, wait, is this a vampire movie? Because he was like, you know me, I'm in your house right now. I
Yeah.
can't go anywhere where I'm not invited. He said
Yeah.
something along those lines. So
Well,
that's-
what he says, I've been in your house before.
yeah, but he also says
he-
like he doesn't go anywhere he's not invited. Specific,
Okay.
like something not. But he does say like he uses the words invited. He can't go anywhere. So I was like, wait, you looking
Okay.
like Bela Lugosi and Dracula? Like,
Well-
are you a vampire? You can't. And they use that's an actual like trope. Vampires can't go into houses they're not invited into.
Yeah,
You a vampire, bitch?
that's true. But
So
yeah, but it occurs to me though also there was a moment early in the movie when he was in bed with his girl and it's kind of a dark. This is like real early in the movie. It's kind of dark, and he looks at her, and Robert Blake's face is like briefly like superimposed over her face.
oh, is that who it was? I just thought it was like an old lady face. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was his face.
Yeah, it was his face. Yeah, it occurred to me in this scene because when I first saw his face, I didn't recognize him. I just thought he looked really piercing, right?
Yeah.
But then when he said, "I was in your house," my first thought was, "Wait a minute, was he in his house when he was in bed with his wife, or was he in his house like when he was filming him, like for the videotape?"
Well,
and then
well,
and
the
then
thing
he
is-
oh yeah.
I mean, the thing is, he said he was in his house right now.
Well, he does get to that. Yes, he does get to that. But at that moment, I was wondering like what that superimposed moment had to do with it. You know?
All right. I didn't notice that it was his face. I just thought it was
Yeah.
like an old lady face.
Okay. You see,
yeah.
because I thought when Bill Pullman said, "Do I know you?" that might have been him recognizing her from the bedroom. You know?
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So then he says, I'm in your house right now, actually. And he's like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, like, how can you be in my house? And he says, call me. And he gives him an old school 90s cell phone.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
One of those
Nick-
giant brick
Mhm.
fucking cell phones.
Loved it. And he calls his house and sure enough, he answers, you know.
Yep.
So that's a pretty eerie moment, you know, and yeah, this is kind of when the movie starts to sort of teeter into sci-fi territory a little bit.
Yeah, because he's talking to him,
Mm-hmm.
saying shit, and they're talking back and forth like between each other, and it's like, give the phone
Yeah.
over back or turn it. Yeah.
Yeah, super, super creepy. And so at that point, he's unsettled, understandably so. And it's not too long after they get home, actually, that he gets the new tape.
And the thing, also the thing is, at the party too, is like he asks the Andy guy, like, "How do you know this creepy motherfucker?" And he was just, "Oh, he's a friend of, what's his name?
Fred, the main character?
Lamont, whatever the
Oh,
the dude that died. It's like, what's his face is dead.
Dick Laurent.
Dick Lamont.
Oh, Dick
He said,
Laurent.
oh yeah, he's a friend of Dick Lamont, and he
Dick
was like,
Laurent.
Dick Laurent, and he's like, wait, Dick Laurent, isn't he dead? And then Andy was like, you know Dick Laurent? How do you know Dick
Oh,
Laurent? And no, I don't think he's dead. What are you talking about?
Okay.
And he's like, I don't know Dick Laurent. I'm not sure. And then they just kind of like, so it was like very confusing. Like somehow Bill Pullman, Fred, knew Dick Laurent was dead, even though he didn't know really who Dick Laurent was. And like
Okay.
Dick Laurent apparently wasn't dead, or like
Right.
to this Andy character, Dick Laurent
Yeah.
wasn't dead at
Yeah.
that point in time.
Yeah. But come to find out later, that may not have actually been the case. But regardless, this is about the 45-minute mark where things start veering off the rails, because as soon as he gets the tape, he looks at it.
Yeah, they go home next
yeah.
morning. They get another tape. Yeah,
Yeah, and as soon as he looks at it, it's his wife, and she's been cut into a million pieces, and he's there holding the knife, screaming at the top of his lungs like a maniac. So clearly he did it, and immediately locked away, throwing away the key, death penalty. That's really, yeah, because the nature of the crime, obviously, it was pretty clear.
yeah.
But that's when things start to get pretty ambiguous, and
That's the straightforward part of the movie.
Yeah. So then this is when the film, So this is when the film starts to almost kind of remind me of that movie Drive a little bit with Ryan Gosling. A little bit. No, I'm not saying it's like that movie exactly,
Explain
but there's the whole thing with like something about the organized crime and the car, like the car shop. Like there's something about that atmosphere there, and of course the LA atmosphere as well, that reminded me of Drive. Like I don't know exactly what it was, but I got weird Drive vibes.
Sure.
Yeah.
I get the car and organized crime, but
yeah. Well, I don't know. There's something interesting about the idea of organized crime taking place with like car shops and car dealerships and just car tune-up places and things like that. There's just something to that idea that is fascinating. The whole like crushing of the car, like get rid of the evidence, like that whole I love those tropes when I see them in movies. And so a part of me actually was sort of charmed by this portion of the movie.
yeah.
And also, I will admit, I actually do kind of enjoy Balthazar Getty as an actor. I think it's nostalgia goggles.
I didn't really know who he was. I just saw the name Balthazar, and I was like, who the fuck names their kid Balthazar?
One of the Getty family apparently does. He was the kid who played Ralph in the 90s version of The Lord of the Flies. So that's what I think most people remember him from. Yeah. So, but here he plays somebody who is mysteriously in prison.
Yeah, this is where it's the turn is like we see. So throughout the movie, we see a cabin exploding, and Bill Pullman like is looking at the door. The cabin explodes, and the next scene is a guard checking the gates. Checking on the prisoners, and then for somehow Balthazar, aka I think his name is Peter or Pete.
Yeah.
He's now in the cell that Bill Pullman's character is in instead of him.
Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, and nobody knows how he got in there. It's a total mystery.
Yeah. And he shouldn't be in there apparently because he's only known for a few little things, and they release him. They release him out of debt because he's in death row, so they just straight up let him out.
Yeah, he's all right. Nothing wrong with him. But obviously, there is some consequences for that because, like, if he is known for getting involved in stuff, then and he was just found in a prison cell, then like that's just going to draw more attention to. And it's not too long after that we meet his family.
Gary Busey.
Yep. So that was the other thing that was my surprise that I had for you guys, and that was the other reason why I chose this movie.
I didn't know. I learned Gary Busey was in this when the opening credits were rolling. I was like, oh no shit.
Yeah. I was hoping that it would be a fun little thing. So
It was, yeah.
good. Yeah. No, I'm glad. Yeah, I mean, 2 David Lynch movies, one with Nicolas Cage, one with Gary Busey. Like, that's gold. I mean, for real. Come on. Like, how often do you get that? Like, those are two of Hollywood's finest.
I would say though that Gary Busey was very reserved in this.
Indeed. Yes, I will agree.
Did something happen? Like something happened to him, right? Like he got in an accident or
he did
drugs or
no,
he's off the rails now, but he was so normal in this movie.
Yeah. Well, there was a period where he got into a car accident and he suffered from brain damage, which of course that really, that doesn't do anybody any good. And obviously there are ways that people can recover and stuff, but yeah, I mean, Gary Busey, unfortunately, his health struggles have more or less just continued to mount over time.
It was great to see him, but it wasn't the Gary Busey you would expect from today's Gary Busey.
Yeah. Leave it to David Lynch to make Gary Busey be reserved and normal.
Like the one sane character in the entire movie.
I think you're right. I think he is the most sane character in the whole movie. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh man. So we have so Pete basically, so after he leaves the prison, he basically just goes back to work at the car shop. And there's this gangster.
We're left also wondering something happened to him. Like we don't know because his face is messed up and
yeah, that's true.
Everyone was asking what happened. He's like, I don't remember.
Yeah, and
we never know either.
We don't.
Like, because Busey knows. Like they do. Some people know they were there and saw, and they just were like, I don't want to tell you.
Yeah, and eventually, like Robert Loggia, who does he play? Mr. Eddie? Well, at first he plays Mr. Eddie.
Mr. Eddie.
Eventually he actually ends up playing... Well, I guess maybe it's the same character. I don't know. But but... Okay, well, at this point in the movie, we can assume that his name is Mr. Eddie. Yeah. But he has a mystery name. And, maybe I'm giving away too much by saying this, because we've already talked about a character in this movie that nobody knows the identity of. And maybe I shouldn't even be bringing this up right now, but I'm bringing attention to it anyway, just to make a note, because I do kind of want to revisit this, only because I'm still... This is another thing about this movie that as soon as I try to figure it out, it all just falls apart, But, okay, so let's see. Okay, so he's being an idiot because he's eyeing Mr. Eddie's girl, who looks like...
Well, this is before, though, too. They also... They have a rapport, apparently. Like,
yeah.
Mr. Eddie loves Petey because he's the one that fixes his car. He has the best ears in town.
Yes.
So he takes him on a drive to say, hey, what's wrong? What's wrong with my car? And he does a little fix. Mm-hmm. Then there's this highway chase.
Oh, gosh.
This highway where some guy was like tailgating him and he lets him pass off. But then Mr. Eddie just rams him off the road and beats the shit out of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, again...
Mine too.
Yeah. Which again, apparently, Mr. Eddie was in the role in contention for the role of Blue Velvet. What's his name?
Oh, Dennis Hopper. Yeah, Robert Loggia.
Yeah, his character, and apparently, like that's the monologue he gave basically in his casting audition.
Oh my
when
God.
He was beating the shit out of that dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he would have.
This is all like I don't know how true, but like Wikipedia, internet article, type of shit.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think Dennis Hopper. I don't think anybody could do that role better. I mean, I don't know. Frank Booth is. There's a reason he's considered one of the scariest villains of all time, and it's because of Dennis Hopper. Like
Heineken, Fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon. That's honestly one of my favorite lines of maybe any movie ever.
Oh yeah, I love that line.
It's so just jarring and amazing.
It is, and like Kyle MacLachlan is like he's so perfect in that role because like he's so terrified. Here's the bill. Say it like you fucking mean it. Here's the bill. Anyway.
Oh yeah. I do love Blue Velvet. I think it's my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, I still hold it as my favorite Lynch.
It real honestly is a really incredible movie, honestly. Yeah, and I do have a lot of respect for it, just as an experience, you know. So, yeah, but it's definitely a pretty intense film if you don't know what you're getting into, I guess.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, yeah, I've talked about it before. There's not really any way to prepare yourself for Blue Velvet. You just have to do it, you know, and rip the Band-Aid off.
You
yeah.
just have to know you're going into a Lynch film, and
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and yeah, with Blue Velvet, it's an especially painful band-aid to rip off, I feel like, you know. But yeah, brilliant film. This one I think has elements that I find brilliant, like because the whole tailgating sequence is incredible, you know, and just that overall character. I mean, I guess that's kind of why I'm so frustrated by the Pete character and what he does, because he starts getting involved with his girlfriend.
And he knows.
Like he does.
He just wishes him beat the shit out of some random dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And he knows he shouldn't be doing it, but he does it anyway. It doesn't take long for them to start having sex either, you know?
Yeah, we see Patricia Arquette's boobs too. So
yep, we see them quite a bit in this movie.
Oh yeah, Lynch knows how to get famous girls topless.
yes. He was a very well respected person. He wasn't the pervert.
It's a Lynch film. Oh sure, I'll get topless. Why not? Lynch for Lynch for Lynch. Yeah.
Anything for you. Yeah. Lots of nudity and sex scenes in these movies, which is great. You know, I love nudity and I love sex scenes. So, you know, I definitely love those aspects of these movies for sure.
We're only human.
Exactly. You know, why deny it? But let's see. Then this is about when they start getting into the whole idea of the double crossing.
So, and it is, so Patricia Arquette is playing a different character.
Yes.
Like a blonde girl named Alice instead of Renee that's hooking up with Pete, that is with Mr. Eddie. A mob boss character,
Yeah. And she's been victimized too. Similarly kind of to Lula in Wild at Heart, except in this one it's in a much more Hollywood kind of way, I'd say.
I wouldn't even say she was necessarily victimized. By the end of it, you kind of realize that she was...
That's true. I forgot about that.
More in control.
She initially appears to be a victim of the Hollywood like way of like discarding women.
Jumped ahead a little bit, but yeah, she's... Yeah.
Yeah, but at the beginning, though, like when she tells her story... And because you know, it's weird because this movie is so different from Wild at Heart, and yet it shares so many of its tropes, you know. But once that element got introduced, I thought the movie wasn't going to go with her double crossing. I thought that it was going to go in a completely different direction, you know.
And the story was the same as Renee's.
That's true.
That she told Bill Pullman's character is like, oh yeah, I met this guy at the same Movies or something like
maybe
that.
It's a movies
movies something like that, and she told me, and she's like, yeah, he had a job for me, and like the Pete character was like, what kind of job, what are you talking about, are you a whore? Like you porn? Because Mr. Eddie did offer him like a porno tape like after he fixed his girl, like no, and she's like, and so he assumed that she did porn.
Yeah.
After, like she said, "Oh, it was just a job. I didn't know much about it, you know."
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And so okay. So and this was before they watched the porno tape on the TV. So I'm
Oh,
trying
way
to
before, yeah.
yeah, okay. Yeah. You see these movies are so disorienting. I can't keep track of when things happen, and I keep getting confused with other parts of the other movie. So and I shouldn't have watched these as a double feature because it totally just like they blur together in weird ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so Patricia Arquette's character. Let me figure this out.
Second character?
I'm just gonna look at Wikipedia because
Or
I'm so
Alice.
lost now. Oh yeah, all right.
She's
Yeah,
Alice or Renee. The blonde or the brunette, whatever.
Alice, the blonde.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So basically, she indicates to Pete that he knows that they're having the affair. Right.
Yeah.
We already covered that, and then that's right. And Pete's girlfriend Sheila finds out, at which
even before
Yeah.
that, what's his face? Mr. Eddie does come to the shop and just takes out a gun and suggests that he knows. He's like, if I find anyone that makes out with my girl,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna put this gun so far up his ass it'll pop out his mouth. And then you know what I'll do? And Pete was like, no, I'm gonna blow his brains out. So like there is he knows. Like you could totally like we know he knows.
Yeah. Yeah. Not quite as chilling as Dennis Hopper, that one line. Do you know what a fucking love letter is? It's a fucking bullet from my gun to your heart, fucker. Or whatever. Okay, so yeah, that's true. So there's that whole thing. So and Alice is his mistress too, right? Not his wife.
I don't know.
Oh,
because I don't think there's.
I guess it doesn't matter.
I don't think there's any suggestion that he has a wife.
Okay, all right. Well, then I'm gonna assume that it's just his mistress, and it's just a lady that he's gonna probably dispose of. Doesn't matter. She sleeps with him.
I think he just has a bunch of ladies he fucks, and
so she's
wife. So
yeah, it sounds like there's a lot that happens in this movie, but there actually isn't. That's the weird thing, like. The first 45 minutes, only like 6 things happen.
Yeah. The first
most of it is just close-ups of Bill Pullman looking miserable, smoking cigarettes.
So many cigarettes are cool, guys.
Yeah. Let's just be real.
Let's bring them back.
Yes. Yeah. Let's bring back tobacco.
Everyone dies anyway.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just marijuana doing it.
Marijuana's boring. No. Kidding. But let's see. Yeah. So she basically sets up this whole plan to more or less take down Eddie because she's nervous about what he knows already. And after Sheila, Pete's girlfriend, has the flip out and leaves him, which I thought was kind of funny, but whatever. Pete ends up getting called from Eddie, doesn't he? Like a phone call?
Yeah, but also like that does happen. Yes.
Yeah, okay. And
but
that's
what
also
annoys me too is everyone knows something happened.
Yeah.
Like, and we also get flashes of it, like, of like they're screaming, "Oh, Pete, no!" Like, I don't know. It seems, in my view, like he got struck by lightning. Maybe I don't fucking know because they were flashing but like, he asked his dad. He asked Gary Busey, like, "What happened to me? Come on, tell me. I don't remember." And he refused to tell him. Like,
Gary
no,
Busey just stares at him.
Like, I'm not gonna tell. He straight up refuses, and no one tells him what happened throughout the movie. So we're just like, what? No.
Nobody tells him what happened, but he also doesn't tell us what's happening. Yeah.
Something happened. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Is that
and we never know.
That's what I mean when I said earlier how frustrating it is sometimes when you watch a movie and you feel like the characters know a lot more about what's happening than you do. That's kind of started to be the problem here. Is he's
It's not
having
even the main
flashbacks to the,
characters either. It's just like the
it's
side
all the
characters.
characters. It's all the characters in this movie. All the characters know more than we do. You know, that's what's so frustrating about
I
this
would
damn
say
movie.
I would say not
Uh,
necessarily like the two main, like Fred, or I mean Fred I think knows more than Pete,
Yeah, I would
but
agree.
like everyone else knows a fuck ton more
Yeah,
than
no,
they
you're right.
tell us.
You're right. You're right. And I think also, yeah, he knows who the mystery man is as soon as he hears his voice on the phone. So he gets a call from Mr. Eddie and the mystery man. And he starts having flashbacks to the mystery man, which is like, but those were Bill Pullman's experience.
Yeah.
So,
And he's like, he says the same thing, like, "Oh, I know you. We've met.
Yeah.
I'm in your. I've been in your house." Type of
Yeah. So that's when he decides to agree to Alice's plan, which involves basically taking out Andy. You know?
Yeah, the skeezy guy that Pullman thought his wife was hooked up with.
Exactly. And they go there to do it. But he actually ends up taking himself out. They don't end up doing it. So
yeah,
with a coffee table, which
was gnarly, but
it was gnarly. But truth be told, I have actually hurt myself pretty bad on coffee tables before. So in a way, I like that made me feel a little better.
But that was a little like it was a coffee table that went halfway through his skull.
Oh yeah, it went
Yeah.
pretty much almost entirely through his entire forehead. Like
Yeah. I know, because he knocked him out first with like some statue, like that was the plan, just to knock him out, steal his shit, and then he just woke up and like he did like a little flip toss. What it looked like, it was kind of hard, weird, but like just kind of did a toss and just flew into a coffee table.
Yeah, he tried to tackle Pete and he tripped, and basically the coffee table split his forehead completely open. I mean, and it looked the effect looked pretty gnarly, and then the sound design, like you could hear like the skull cracking and the brain splitting, and it was just like, oh, it sounded painful. Like it was just like, man.
And this too is where we start wondering, like, oh, so Alice is bad, because like she
points the gun at him and teases him.
And even before that, like that was a major point. But like he does say like shit, like he was freaking out, like shit, we killed him. And then she was like nonchalant and just looked at him and was like, no, you killed him.
Yeah.
But, once they were done, like he had to go up and like clean up, and
which that led to a weird moment too.
Yeah, she pulled a gun on him.
Yeah,
and was like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
Do you think I'll kill you? No, put it in your pants.
Yeah, but right before that, when he was in the bathroom, there was like that weird fucking thing happening where that lady was like, I don't even know. Like, what is, what the fuck? There's like weird lights and her hair was all weird, and she was like, I don't even remember what she was saying. I don't even remember what she was saying, but she was saying something, and it was like trippy, and he was only in there for like a moment, and there was some crazy bitch doing some weird shit, and then he just kind of moved on like it didn't happen. Like, what was that?
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay, well then never mind.
But I mean,
maybe I drunk it.
I don't know, that is one thing I noticed with Lynch movies is crazy shit happens and they just move on, not even acknowledge.
Okay, all right. Okay, so you believe me when I say that happened, right? Okay,
I don't exactly remember, but
okay,
that is definitely a Lynch move. Is some weird outlandish shit happens and the characters don't react to it.
Yeah, I mean, he reacted, but then he just kind of left and went back and was like, "All right, I'm done." And like he was done using the bathroom, and it's
I know what you're talking about. It was he was going up. He was looking for the bathroom.
Yeah,
he turned into a room where.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Somebody was having
sex.
Intercourse.
Yeah, that's it. Okay,
but
it's coming back
I think it was Alice.
Okay.
It was supposed to be Alice because she was talking to him like it was Alice.
Right. All right.
Weird shit, and it kind of looked like her, but with like a pink wig on. And
the
room was colored in red or something.
Yeah, she had a pink wig. Her hair was weird. Yeah, okay, she was having sex. Oh, that's okay. And this is where the porn is playing too on the TV.
Yes, this whole time,
Yeah.
like when
Yeah.
they gave the plan was to come in, break in,
Yeah.
smack
Okay.
him out, and go to the living room where the bar is.
Okay.
And like as soon as Pete got there, there was just a giant film screen
Yeah.
projector of Alice having sex.
Yeah.
And
And
he
it
was just
looked like it
"What
was from
the
behind
fuck?"
too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
I don't think he expected that. Like
Yeah.
he came in and was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, it's kind of intense. It's happening throughout the whole scene, you know. And
Yeah, it's the entire scene. It's just like as this dude's getting murdered, as they're robbing him. you
yeah,
just
it's a
see
really
her-
long scene.
Yeah, you just see her getting pounded from the back.
Yeah, it must have been like a really long porno because that was a really long scene. They didn't rush out exactly.
Right? And it was on film too, so it's not like it was like a digital recording on loop.
Oh, yeah.
So it had
Right.
to have been like a long ass film strip.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Okay, so then they go outside, and then they just start having sex, basically. Like, and then she says, like, "You'll never have me."
Oh, they drive to the
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they drive.
They
first.
drive because she says she has a fence to sell all the shit they stole and the car.
Okay.
They drive to the cabin that we keep seeing
Exploding. Yeah. At one point, it explodes in reverse. Yeah.
I think it mostly explodes in reverse.
Right. Okay.
And then the guy's not there, or the fence isn't there, so they have sex.
Okay.
On,
That's
and
right.
They have sex in the dirt in front of the car.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? You know, let's do it. And then they basically just vanish. There's like a light that flashes, and then Pete turns back into Fred.
So like, what happened? So while they're doing it, Alice says, "No." Pete was saying like, "I want you, I want you, I want you," and then Alice is like, "You'll never have me."
Right.
Ever. And then she gets up off him and then walks into the cabin and disappears forever.
Okay.
And then he turns back into Bill Pullman.
That makes sense. Okay. And so after he turns back into Bill Pullman, that's basically when okay, so this is when the movie starts hitting me with a lot of different shit. This is when it starts getting into like snuff films and like surveillance and all this other stuff. So the mystery man shows up again, but now Mr. Eddie is no longer Mr. Eddie. Right?
He's
Is this when it happens?
Yeah, he's back to
Dick Laurent. Dick Laurent.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're on the same page again, I think. Well,
Yes.
wait.
Somehow he got him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Somehow he got him back. He got him into the trunk. Does he go like? Does he turn back and?
He turned so basically
How it happened.
he finds him at the hotel,
okay.
basically.
Yeah, he
and
goes-
that's where he's having sex,
Yeah.
I think, with
Renee.
with Renee. That's right. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it is a weird movie. Okay.
Yeah, so after that, after Alice just disappears,
Mhm.
the mystery man, I think, says eventually that there is no Alice. She was
Yeah.
lying to you. It's been Renee the whole time.
Yes.
And way far back in the movie, we see a picture of like Dick Laurent, Alice, and Renee, and that Andy dude.
yes.
And then eventually we see that picture again, and it's just Renee.
Right.
So
Right.
like,
So that was cool.
Yeah. So after Alice disappears, Pete turns back into Fred.
Mm-hmm.
He goes back to some hotel and finds Dick Laurent having sex with Renee.
Yes. Yes. Okay. And that's when Fred decides to basically just kidnap him. And that's when he puts him in the trunk.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. And basically takes him out to the desert. And that's when the mystery man shows up.
It takes him back to the does he take him back to the cabin or just random desert?
Maybe he took him back to the cabin.
I think so.
Yeah, I thought
'cause
it was
he
a
had,
desert.
Yeah.
yeah, he had the
Okay.
camera.
I don't
Oh, he gave him
I don't
at
remember.
least He gave him at least that like little tiny TV screen.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Oh yeah, and that's what he watched the snuff film on.
Yeah.
They had like Twiggy and Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Was that Marilyn Manson? I was
Yeah.
like, that's not
Yeah.
Marilyn
Yeah.
Manson.
Yeah. 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 So that's where that was happening. And then let's see. Also, I think there was also oh yeah, and he gave him a knife. And that's when he kills him, right?
Yeah, because he was gonna take him out of the car or the trunk, but Dick Laurent like just jumps out and tackles him, and there's a struggle, and then just
and the mystery man just you don't even see him standing there. You just see his hand.
yeah,
It's like something out of like a cartoon or something. Like, here's a knife.
Yeah, just plops it in.
Yeah, he kills him. He cuts his throat. Really gnarly makeup. You literally like you see his actual like, you see like his Adam's apple actually like split open. It's gnarly. Like, ugh.
But he talks because he's still alive for a while, and he talks pretty fine. He's like, "What do you want?" And then they give him that video to watch.
Yeah, it like didn't cut through his vocal cords, but it cut through his veins, I think. But yeah,
and then they kill him. They shoot him.
Yeah, they just blast him in the face. So then after this is where it kind of turns into the O.J. Simpson biopic.
Yeah. He goes, and this is where it all ties, like, this is where it all starts to, like, kind of tie back. You're like, is this, Fred, Bill Pullman, goes back, just buzzes on his own house's intercom and says, Dick Laurent is dead. Which is the first line we hear.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walks out, sees cops, then there's a highway chase.
Yep. And he starts flipping out in the car. His face starts looking all fucked up.
Yep.
And then the movie ends.
Yeah.
You got that movie Demented by David Lynch or whatever it's called on the soundtrack.
Yeah. So you're left wondering, is this like a time loop movie? It's like,
well,
like
it's so fractured. It's almost like these three pieces should exist together, but they're like divided, and it's almost like they're divided into three separate dimensions. It's like there is some sort of narrative here involving a guy who, like, I'm getting the impression he like loses control or loses his temper. Maybe I'm only feeling that way because I just watched Falling Down. But I'm getting the sense that this is about a guy losing control of himself. But also not being able to handle like the aftermath of that too. But go ahead.
I think it's also just similarly about not accepting his wife's past, kind of like.
Yeah,
it seems like he didn't like how she was, like, because in both cases she was promiscuous, like either a porn star or just slept around, and like he never liked that, and the more he learned, the more it angered him and stuff, and like he kind of lost it. And
that's the thing, like Bill Pullman is so restrained and so he internalized, and when you see him on the camera and he's like going berserk and flipping back and forth and spazzing out and stuff, like it's kind of it seems uncharacteristic of him, and you almost wonder, was that him? But there's no one else who it could have been.
Yeah.
But then you have the Pete character who, I don't know if that was supposed to be like somebody that like Bill Pullman wanted to kind of be or something like that, or what he saw himself as or something. Which
ish. So
yeah, I mean, if that's the case, I kind of feel bad for him, because like that kid was just a bundle of emotion. Like he was just crying the whole movie. His face was just beaten up, and he was basically just in panic mode.
But he was getting pussy.
He was getting pussy, but he looked like he was afraid that Mr. Eddie was gonna bust in at any moment. Yeah. With a gun and shove it up his butt and then blow his brains out, you know.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating movie. I mean, I do enjoy films that have like fractured timelines and things like that. But it just the pacing is weird, because it's at first it almost feels like not enough is happening. You spend the first 45 minutes wondering, like, is this gonna escalate or is it gonna kind of stay at this volume, or at
and
this
then you
tempo?
spend the next like hour wondering, are we going back to Bill Pullman ever or no? Or are we just abandon him totally?
Yeah, like up until that point, there's not enough happening, and then there's too much happening.
Yeah.
And one theory, so this is just getting the fan theories I read, is that
Okay.
like it could be a time loop, but not necessarily, like, because I even read like an interview David Lynch he said kind of, but it's like a progressive time loop where every little one gets a little higher up and
Okay.
to fixing, but also it's like I also read that the very first scene we see is Bill Pullman just smoking, a close up, and then there's that buzz.
Yeah.
And you look over, but it's a buzz of like like not the intercom necessarily, but the buzzing of like, the jail cell.
Yes.
Like a jail cell opening.
Okay. Yeah.
So after that, some people, this is of course all fan theories because David Lynch will never say.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, oh, this is all just, what if this is all in the mind of Bill Pullman? Like, oh, what if I could get out of here by, magically being a different person, turning into Pete, and then my life being different after that. And
I like that theory.
it's interesting, yeah, because it is a weird shot. Like, it is a weird shot of him just, sitting there smoking real close up. And then it's that buzz. And then, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are moments where it feels like this film is trying to distill something. There are moments when this film is it feels like this film is trying to distill something about the psyche, because there are a lot of close-ups of eyes and gestures, and there are a lot of like kind of subtle movements and character traits that repeat and things like that it does kind of invite that kind of questioning somewhat.
Yeah, and the whole mystery man thing too is like I don't know, the devil kind of, like, I know you, we've met, I've always, like, because the devil's inside you always, or whatever, you've been there, I've been here with you the whole time. And it's like placing blame on some type of metaphorical devil that's always been there with you to do these bad things.
I don't think the mystery man represents guilt. I think definitely more devilish intent for sure. There is something just inherently sinister just about his just his face alone and his expressions. He just has like a cruel demeanor, so I mean, like putting all this stuff together. Oh, and then what did you guys think of Richard Pryor? That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I like Mick Stoll's in it, and Jack Nance, he was a David Lynch regular. He was a big actor on Twin Peaks. He's been on this show before. He was in that movie Motorama. So
another surrealist kind of.
Yeah, he played the motel owner who wanted to shoot the squirrels or whatever. That was a very Lynchian type of movie, so it makes sense that he would have been in that. So, then also call me crazy, but did I spot Giovanni Ribisi in there somewhere?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Very briefly.
It was good to see him.
He was just a friend of Pete that was like in not even 30 seconds of the fucking movie.
There's nothing I love more than 90s Giovanni Ribisi. Oh my God. Holy crap. Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely have grown to appreciate the movie a lot more. And I have to say, like, I initially really hated this movie. When I first saw it, I think I would have given it like a 1.5 or something like that. I was like, this is his worst movie, piece of shit. But I think a lot of that had to do with the DVD quality. That was definitely one I should have just stuck with the VHS for. Now I would definitely give it something higher. I don't know what. I'm still not in love with it, but I'm growing to appreciate kind of I do like the mystery aspects of it. I just kind of wish more was happening, and I also wish that there was something that like tangible to hold on to throughout. That's really my main problem with it, is like when a film like this feels this chopped up and this sort of all over the place and fragmented, it really does kind of make it feel like more like a series of scenes and set pieces than an actual story. So that's kind of my but overall, I don't know. I'm leaning more toward a 3 than a 2.5. I think I'll go with a 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. What about you guys?
I actually liked this one, honestly.
Excellent.
I because I do feel like it was a little, honestly, it was a bit easier to digest than Wild at Heart, in my
Nice.
opinion. Like, by the end, there was definitely that midsection that was like, what the fuck? What are
Okay.
we doing here? But like by the end, I was like, oh, this is like some kind of weird, like, I do think it was a kind of a time loop movie.
Okay.
Really felt like that because there was also that section, just a brief scene of, they have them a bunch driving through the highway of them just speeding through, and then there was a stop real quick at Eddie, or not Eddie, Pete.
Oh yeah.
And then I was just like, okay, so like, where are we going? Like, I do feel like this was a kind of a time loop movie.
Nice.
And the way, just looking at it in that way, it's like, okay,
Yeah. I mean, the time.
Groundhog Day time loop-ish type of shit, but with just disturbing fucking shit going on.
It is a super disturbing movie. I do agree.
And it did make, I mean, a fair bit of, in my opinion, not a fair bit of sense, but a modicum of sense.
Yeah. The time loop does actually make sense. Yeah, that theory. I mean, I guess the only thing that doesn't make sense about it ultimately is how it would happen in the first place. But really, I mean, that's not. I don't know. That's not even anything that's worth trying to unpack, in my opinion, because a movie like this doesn't need to really answer for that type of thing.
Yeah.
Um,
And either that, or it's just like the other, probably more logical theory is that it just was all of Bill Pullman's imagination of another thing that could have happened while he was on death row.
right.
And
Right.
him being PD.
Okay. But because he doesn't really seem to have any kind of identity outside of like playing a jazz music or whatever, that makes me wonder if like it makes me wonder if Bill Pullman was really the car worker, or the he worked at the car shop or whatever, and met a woman who was involved in the seediness of Hollywood or something, and I don't know, maybe that. I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to try to figure it out, but yeah. The time loop there could be something to that. Yeah. What would you give it?
I liked it enough. I'd say a 4, honestly. As far as I
Good.
thought it was pretty good.
Well, I'm glad you liked it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Zach?
So I gave it a 3. I liked it for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah, and kind of lost me, so I definitely want to rewatch it again.
Yeah. Yeah, the ending is where I really get lost as well. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say like the connection so hard
Overall.
for that time loop is the buzz back in is,
yeah, that's where it gets
It's
kind
like,
of hard
oh,
to, yeah.
so this is a time loop then?
Yeah.
And like, and honestly, like, not to like spoil or like, because David Lynch definitely says like it's open to audience interpretation for all of his movies.
Yeah.
But there was an interview where he did kind of say it is kind of.
Okay.
He said it's kind of a time loop movie, but each loop progresses a little further up the
Oh,
circle.
yeah.
So it's like maybe a time spiral up.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. No,
It's,
that makes
again,
sense.
still like audience. He most of his movies are definitely audience interpretations.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, but what were your final thoughts on Zach? Real quick, you wanted to finish yours.
Oh yeah, it was overall it was pretty good, I'd say.
Cool. All right. What would you give it on a scale of 1 to 5?
I give it a 3.
3. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So
I want to understand more.
yeah.
Even though I probably never will.
Yeah.
Not with a Lynch movie, no way.
No.
Yeah. I feel like there are some things that are probably some things toward the end that I am missing. I don't think it's a movie that I'm ever going to understand fully either, but I think that there are certain elements of it that I can probably make more sense of if I rewatched it. But the thing about his movies is he throws so many weird little details in that you don't want to get too caught up because some of those might lead you down a different direction. So it's a tricky one, but overall I would say I like it more now than I used to.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that you liked it more than us, actually. Now,
I did. I honestly thought it was good.
Yeah, and that leads me actually to my final question. Do you think if you hadn't seen Mulholland Drive first, that you would have liked this as much?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, that's good.
Because
Okay.
just Mulholland Drive, I don't know, just was too fragmented. This was fragmented, but like at the end, I do think there was a bit of tying a bit more strings. I mean,
Okay.
I might have to watch Mulholland Drive again.
Yeah, you see, to me, Mulholland Drive makes more sense than this one does. But
really.
yeah, but I have rewatched Mulholland Drive like 4 or 5 times. I mean,
I would assume so, since that's most people's favorite Lynch film. So I mean,
it is a masterpiece. It really is. You just gotta find the masterpiece inside of it. That's the problem with it. It doesn't make it easy to find because you got Naomi Watts going all like, oh, I want to be in Hollywood, and then you got like the mystery and all the weird amnesia stuff, and then you have like the blurring of boundaries between like the performances and real life.
I could have sworn we did that.
I would love to actually sit down and do a deep dive one day with you guys if you ever feel up to it. Because I actually do love that movie, but we obviously don't have to do it like anytime soon because I think right now after watching Wild at Heart and Lost Highway we can we can take some time away from Lynch and get a little breather before we wander into this world again, but I actually I really enjoyed these movies more, I'd say, on a second watch. One more movie I wanted to compare Lost Highway to, and I was going to bring this up when I brought up Drive, and then I completely forgot. But it's a movie that you may have actually seen, Nick. But if you haven't, I would like to recommend it to both of you guys. Under the Silver Lake.
I think I've seen it.
Okay, it has Andrew Garfield in it.
I mean, I know the name of the movie.
Okay, picture Andrew Garfield in a movie like kind of like this, and picture it being like wilder in certain ways. Like they definitely look for that one.
I mean, I know I wanted to at least see it. I know the name, and I know I remember wanting to see it.
You got to see it, guys. Like we should probably watch it on an episode at some point. Actually, we don't have to do it right now though.
Yeah, I do own it.
You do? Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, so I can upload that one.
All right. Okay, cool. Well, that sounds like a good idea. We should watch that then. But should we watch that one first, or should we go with our, I call it our Gore Verbinski double feature.
I forget what we've been
Oh, okay.
planning. I don't
All right. Well, here, before I get too caught up in that stuff, let me just kind of conclude the David Lynch episode real quick.
Okay.
All right, so that concludes our David Lynch episode. Great time, brilliant director, one of my favorites.
One of the best.
Yeah, for real. I love his work. I don't know. I miss him very much. I'm really sad he's gone. So, but
Smoking is still cool.
yeah, smoking is still cool. David Lynch is cool. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's not much I could say. I could go on about Twin Peaks, but if I did that, you guys would just be sitting there waiting for me to get done for the next 2 hours. So, but Twin Peaks is my favorite show, and yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking about David Lynch. So, yeah. Okay. So the three of us were discussing a curious movie that I saw part of some time ago called A Cure for Wellness that I was feeling rather critical of, but I would like to watch the whole thing. So the episode that I was thinking for next time was the double feature with Mouse Hunt and The Cure for Wellness.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Let's do it.
All right.
Gore Verbinski's Mouse Hunt and A Cure for Wellness. Strangely enough, we are not going to talk about The Weatherman yet.
Yeah.
But that is one we should definitely take a look at too, because I like
I've
that.
seen that one.
I love that movie. Oh my god, talk about
That's a cage,
underrated.
right?
It is a
Yeah.
cage.
I've seen it.
Such an underrated movie.
It's so good.
God, I want to watch that one again now too. Dang.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we should wrap it up now. So I guess we should say goodnight and get done talking about movies. So, all right. Thanks for listening to us talking about David Lynch. Do either of you have any more final thoughts you want to share, or is that it?
I think that's it.
It's good.
All right. Well, have a good night, everyone. Peace.
Yeah. Have a good one.
See you.